Times were tough. Don't take a level in the eye. Don't take a level. Don't take a level in the eye. Don't take a level. Don't take a level in the eye. Don't take a level. Don't take a level in the eye. Don't take a level.
Hey Internet, Dracofunk here, and today we are dropping the bass. Basses. Hey, I want to give a shout out to Vomit for pointing out the irony of the title of this episode. So, you know, while I'm dropping the basses, I figured I'd drop the bass, because dubstep. Anyway, so the whole point of this video is last week I issued a challenge that if we reach 60 subscribers by the end of 2022, I would drive a rover from the Kerbal Space Center all the way to a base that I landed close to the North Pole. Not exactly the North Pole, but close. And, well, since then we were at 51 subscribers and now we're at 56. And I gave us till the end of 2022, and now it's seeming like we might be able to reach 60 subscribers by the end of the month, but only if you like and subscribe to this video if you haven't already subscribed. And if you have subscribed, especially if you're a new subscriber, thank you. And don't forget to smash that bell so you can be notified of when the video comes out. And hey, if you did notice that a video came out and it's gone, it's because I had to re-edit this video, and I'm not sure what happened, but I recorded this video, I uploaded it, and when I played the version on YouTube, there was something wrong with the video, but that's fine, because I'm fixing it now. So, this aircraft, this is the K2 Dropper C. It's C because this is a fourth iteration of this. So back when I first started the Reusable Space program, I wanted to do a rover mission all the way to the North Pole. So I designed this aircraft to, I wanted it to drop bases. I know the joke, the dubstep joke, but not just drop the base, but drop bases kind of as waypoints on the way to the North Pole. And I ended up not doing that mission at the time. Instead, we flew to the North Pole, and Vomit and Shaggy B joined me on the recording. And hey, if you want to check out that video, look down in the description, because I probably put a link to it down there. Not probably. There is a link in the description of this video linking to our North Pole expedition where we flew to the North Pole. But this time I'm going to drive to the North Pole. But anyway, so this is the K2, and I've been naming all my craft, and the whole point of this is to drop bases, and that's what I'm going to do right now. I've opened the cargo bay doors. I'm going to hit the space bar, and it should deploy one of the bases, and it's got parachutes on it. Any second now. There we go. So I made a mistake, though. This is the first base I dropped in this mission. I did test this craft, but it was a long time ago. And I can't just drop the base and fly away, because if I fly out of physics range before the base lands, it will poof out of existence. So I have to keep circling. And the mistake I made was I was too high when I dropped it. And it's going to take a long time. I end up circling probably for about 2 or 3 minutes. I know that doesn't sound like a lot of time, but it seems like a lot of time. And this is sped up 4 times. But to cut things short, I just keep circling, and eventually the base lands, and as soon as it's down and landed, I will fly to the next location and drop off my second base. And right now I'm just switching back and forth just to see where I am. You can kind of see it down there. Just flying around in a circle. Around and around. Eventually it touches down. And another thing to know is once that base touches down on the ground, you can't switch to it. That is in-game design, so if you're flying aircraft, you can't accidentally switch to something on the ground and end up having to switch between all the other aircraft or all the other things on the ground. Here is the second base, and I will do an aileron roll, not a barrel roll. Barrel rolls are actually a little bit different. Here's the third base. Now, you may notice that there's no rear end to this aircraft, and as I said, this is the fourth iteration of this. I was slowly improving the designs, and originally it did have a back end, and when I deployed the first base, it fell off, collided with the back end. The back end exploded, the base exploded, it was a bad time, and I just found that not having a rear end in it made it work, so that's the way I ended up designing it. And now that it's dropped all four bases, I'm flying back to the Kerbal Space Center. So you may have noticed that the four bases, this only gets me about halfway to the North Pole. I'm going to have to drop 4 more bases off, and I'll probably do that once we reach at least 58 subscribers. I will come back and do a special video. And here I am just coming into the runway. I have a little bit less than a quarter tank of fuel, so I'm going to be pushing it really close to get this. I don't need to get all the way to the North Pole, but I have to get pretty close. I want to drop the last base right where the ice shelf meets. Coming down a little bit hard, but nothing broke. And I'm just going to go ahead and park this right in front of the space plane hangar. So guys, we need 4 more subscribers. So let's do this. And thanks for all the new people, and see you all soon. Have a good night.